Happy Sentinels Tuesday, everybody. We're taking the second look into the 100D13's My Hero Academia decks this week with our new hero, Endeavor. He's a big, fiery guy, and he has a neat gimmick where he wants to be like the #1 hero. You'll see how it happens during the game. He's going to be fighting Lucas Halcom Combative Horror, the, I guess, completely werewolf variant of Rusluzetsky's villain. His teammates are the Stranger, Writhe, a new variant of knife that I made called Headhunter Knife, based off the comic cover of the same name, and we'll be fighting in Odyssey Station. And because I've been on a losing streak lately, and I don't like that, I took and ran a test game of this earlier, and it actually went pretty well, so hopefully things will go alright. Alright, Lucas Halcom starts out Combative Horror side up, remove all 5 influence cards from the villain deck, put them face down on this card in random order, shuffle the villain deck, play the top card of the villain deck. So note this is happening before the start of the villain turn. We get Tori Roth, Converted Evidence, she plays the top card of the villain deck. Council member Jared. Okay, and Tori goes next to an active hero, who gains the following power: discard up to 3 cards, reveal that many cards on the top of the villain deck plus 1 of the revealed cards on top of the villain deck and the rest on the bottom. We're probably not going to be doing that, so I'll just put her over here next to the Stranger. Alright, cards in this card have no game text or indestructible and not play. When a card is put under this card, put it at the bottom of the cards under this card. When a manipulated card will be played, instead move it to the villain trash, and damage dealt to Lucas Halcom is reduced by 1 until the start of the next villain turn. The first time each turn, damage will be dealt to Lucas Halcom, redirected to the converted target with the lowest HP, and I think, yeah, they're both converted, so they're going to be guarding him. Start of the villain turn, his character card can be flipped, then he deals the hero target the highest HP, H-1 melee damage. We're going to flip him to Hunted Horror. Cards under this card still work the same. Now when a manipulated card will be played, move it to the villain trash and he regains H+2 HP. That's a lot. Start of the villain turn, he can be flipped, and then he regains 4 HP, so he's still at full. End of the villain turn, reveal the top card on this card, put into play, and Lucas Halcom deals the hero character card with the most cards in play, H-1 melee damage, and the hero with the highest HP, X infernal damage, where X is equal to the number of evidence cards in play, plus 1. So he does a lot of damage, but end of turn on his front side is all the converted cards, which he counts as 1, deal the hero character card with the lowest HP 1 melee damage, and then he hits each other hero character card for 4 infernal. That's insane. Okay, so we flipped him, start of the villain turn, move a hero card and play to the top of the appropriate deck. And we play a card. Infernal Power Source, play the top card of the villain deck. Ancient Vault, play the top card of the villain deck. Read on Hero HQ, deals the hero with the most cards in the hand H melee damage, destroy an equipment or hero ongoing card, destroy an evidence card. Okay, we'll just have Endeavor take that. Destroy an evidence card. Okay, so let's see. We've got Tori and we've got these two. This one is... This card deals you an infernal damage if it does when player may use a power now. That's not bad. This card deals you 1 irreducible projectile damage. Discard 2 cards, draw up to 3 cards. Okay, we'll destroy Tori, because she's not useful. I'm going to give the Infernal Power Source to Writhe, because he could actually use extra... Actually, I'm going to give these both to Writhe, because they could actually be good for him. He can use extra powers at the start of the game. Alright, end of the villain turn. We play the top influence card. Media Focus. Hero with the most cards in play must destroy H-2 equipment or hero ongoing cards. Play the top card of the villain deck, or put this card under the villain character card instead of putting it in the villain trash. We're going to go ahead and play the top card of the villain deck. Please Captain Selima. She doesn't act until the start of the villain turn. So that goes in the trash instead of going back under there. Alright, he hits the most cards in play for 3, and then he hits the highest for also 3. I guess Endeavor will take 1, and Knife will take the other. Okay, we have some things to get rid of. Alright, I'm going to play Mark of Breaking on Lucas Halcom, because why wouldn't I? And then for his power, we'll play Mark of Destruction on, I think, the police captain, so we can hit that for 5 instead of hitting her for 8, and get rid of her quicker. Draw a card. Alright, how about Skiamaki? We'll have the Rune of Breaking hit itself for 2. It's still in play. I can play an ongoing or equipment card. How about Portable Dark Lab? And get the Shadow Cloak. Of course, now that I have the cloak out, he can't use the Infernal Power Source. That's fine. Let's go ahead and do Portable Dark Lab. I have a very specific strategy for this. I'll go ahead and play Nowhere to Hide. Deal a target for reducible infernal damage, and then I can use a power. Okay, so the question is, do I drop the Mark of Breaking, or do I hit Lucas? I'm going to drop the Mark, which will take out the police captain. Because Lucas is going to be healing, we need to build up a little bit. And I can use a power now, so let's have this deal him 1 irreducible projectile damage, discard 2 and draw 3. That's destroyed, that's done, draw a card. So for all that, he nets 1 card, but okay, whatever. Knife is going to play Overcharged Null Shield, so her power is Scour the Galaxy. Knife deals up to 2 targets 1 melee damage each. If any target was destroyed this way, reveal the top card of the villain deck and either replace or discard it. So she's just going to hit both of these for 1. Lucas takes 2, probably won't matter, draw a card. Okay, Endeavor will play I'm Your Target. Whenever a hero target other than Endeavor would be dealt 3 or more damage from a single source, you may prevent that damage. Then Endeavor deals the source of that damage 2 melee and 1 fire damage, destroy this card. So hopefully that will hit Lucas. His base power is Hell Flame. Endeavor deals a target 2 fire damage. Let's go ahead and hit Jared and draw a card. Alright, if you don't remember Odyssey Station, it says on the environment's first turn, search the deck for 1 locked module, which is actually called a sealed module, 1 malfunctioning system, and 1 rogue robot. Put them into play. Only the access denied text is active at this stage. So once we quote-unquote deal enough damage to a target, it becomes unlocked and starts helping us out. So there's our sealed module, system malfunction, and rogue robot. Proceed to the end of turn phase. Okay, so the only thing we have to worry about right now, each time a hero draws a card, they deal themselves 1 melee damage. Alright, start of turn, we're not going to flip Lucas, he'll just heal back to full. We have to put a card from in play on top of the deck. I guess, I kind of wanted all of these. Oh well, guess it'll be the Null Shield, right? And we play Divine Speaker Rowan. At the end of the villain turn, play the top card of the villain deck. Oof. End of turn, play an influence card. Falsified news story. Darn, all civilian targets in Lucas Halcom regain H+2 HP. So he heals back to full. Destroy 3 hero ongoing cards or put this card under the villain character card. We don't have, well, we have an ongoing, so that's it. Alright. It's the hero with the most cards in play for 3 melee damage. And that is Writhe or Endeavor. And we'll have that be Writhe. He can discard a card to prevent it. And then he hits the highest for 3 infernal damage. That is the Stranger will prevent that, and Endeavor will hit him for 2 and 1, which becomes 3 and 2. See, that worked out. Play the top card of the villain deck. Taped Confession, play the top card of the villain deck. Mystically Encrypted Ledger, play the top card of the villain deck. Manifested Ambush, Lucas Halcom deals each hero target 2 melee damage. Converted card with the lowest HP, which is the Speaker, deals hero target with the highest HP X melee damage, where X is equal to the number of converted cards in play +1. So that's 4 to the highest, that is the Stranger. Well, that's okay. Now, let's see, this one is, this card deals you up to 2 toxic damage, reveal X cards on the top of the villain deck, return them. X is twice the amount of toxic damage dealt to you this turn. Yeah, just give that to Writhe. He's not going to use it, but whatever. And what does this do? The hero gains the following power. Discard a card, move a civilian card from play to the bottom of the villain deck, immediately end your turn. I could just get rid of one of them. I want to give that to Knife, because at the very least she has a card to discard. Alright, start of his turn, Stranger hits himself for 1. And then we'll play Glyph of Combustion, so I don't have to do that again. And then I'll play Mark of the Twisted Shadow on Endeavor, because this is his video, and increases damage by 1. That'll be cool. Draw a card. Okay, Writhe. I'm going to do Unquiet Night and get rid of the security bot. It's not a bad card, but it does have a lot of HP, and I don't see myself getting through it. So I can draw a card or play a card. Let's play Nowhere to Hide. Deal target 3 irreducible infernal damage. Let's go ahead and hit Lucas. I can use a power. He has all of these powers here to use. Take an irreducible projectile damage, discard 2 cards, draw 3, and yeah, let's do the Mystically Encrypted Ledger, so that'll hit him for a grand total of 1 toxic damage, reveal 2 cards from the top of the villain deck and return them. Oh, it's not actually deck manipulation. Well, got Anti-Hero Sentiment and Hotshot CEO, so he's going to heal a bunch next round. Draw a card. We really don't want to flip him back, though, because he does far less damage on this side, and with Mark of the Breaking, we will at least be able to deal with him. Yeah, Knife is going to Energy Burn. 3 and 2 becomes 4 and 3, and then we will use Taped Confession, discard Overdo It, and put the Speaker on the bottom of the deck. Of course, I need to be dealing with the environment right now. End her turn. Alright, let's do Prominence Burn. So discard up to 3 cards from your hand. Endeavor deals a target X+4 infernal damage. And if he isn't the hero with the highest HP, which he is not, destroy X-1 villain or environment cards, where X is equal to the number of cards you discarded. So if I discard 0, he can do 5 damage to something, putting the mess hall under our control. He destroys nothing, and then we use his power to get, what is this one? The environmental controls, also under our control. Draw a card. Now things will be cool. Airlock. The hero with the fewest cards in play, which is anyone, is incapacitated unless they discard H-1 of their cards. Start of the environment turn, all hero targets take 1 toxic and 1 cold damage. So this is a bad card. Writhe has the card draw to get over that, but I kind of want him to have cards. Yeah, okay, he's gonna discard 3 cards. That's another one that we can just destroy, because the good effect is immediately destroy a rogue robot, and we don't have any. And in the environment turn, each player may draw a card. Well, that helps a little bit. And all villain targets take 1 energy damage. Lucas takes 2. Then he heals 4. And then we have to put a hero card on top of its deck. Shoot, we need to get rid of that guy. Alright, play a card. Hotshot CEO. She goes in the trash, and he heals 6. End of turn, play Influence. Each player discards a card. Destroy H-2 equipment or put this card onto the villain character card instead of putting it in the villain trash. We don't have enough equipment, so everybody discard 1, and that goes back under him. Alright, he hits the most cards in play for 3, which is actually the Stranger, and then he hits the highest for 4, I think. Yeah, evidence cards, 5. Ooh, he's hitting the highest for 5. That's bad. That's Knife. Okay, Stranger hits himself for 2. Glyph of Decay. Go ahead and use that. Play a rune. The Stranger deals a target 1 toxic damage. He's going to play Mark of the Bone Leech on himself and hit this little fucker for 1, heal 1, draw a card. Alright, Portable Dark Lab. Alright, so we're putting 1 in play, 1 in the trash. And we'll play Lurking Shadows. Draw a card. Increase damage dealt by Riot to Lucas by 1, I guess. I can use a power. I guess we can do the Ledger again. 2 anti-hero sentiments. That's honestly kind of okay. Draw a card. Alright, Knife's gonna go off. Amplified Combatant. 4 to him, 2 to him, 2 to that. And then she'll, I guess she'll hit Lucas and hit Jared and draw a card. Okay, Jet Burn. Power is Endeavor deals a target 3 fire damage. If Endeavor isn't the hero with the highest HP, he is. He also deals 3 targets 1 fire damage. I guess what I will do is use that and take that out. So, yeah, we can destroy a robot, nothing happens, draw a card. Better than suffering the locked thing at the start of the environment turn. Alright, the environment plays Artificial Gravity. Reduce all hero damage by 1. Okay, everybody draw a card, and all villain targets take 1 energy damage. Alright, start of the villain turn, he heals 4, and Jared is going to move Mark of the Bone Leech, which is perfectly fine if you ask me. Alright, and then we play Anti-Hero Sentiment. Wraith can take care of that. Start of the villain turn, we get a civilian card. Alright, end of turn, he hits the most cards for 3, that is still the Stranger. Then he hits the highest for 5, that's Endeavor. Good, he's not the highest anymore. Alright, the Stranger hits himself for 1. And we'll play Glyph of Combustion, and skip his power, and draw a card. Alright, Wraith is playing Unquiet Night. Let's get rid of that. Then let's go ahead and play Grasping Shadow Cloth. Move that to the bottom of his deck, I guess. And now he can't play cards. Power, bring the Shadow Cloak back, draw a card. Let's see. I don't want a Raking Uppercut because we know the next card is an ongoing, and that's perfectly fine. So let's just Energy Burn, I guess. It's going to be 2 and 1. 2 damage. Let's take out Jared. And then she can't use her power, draw a card. I will be number 1. Endeavor deals himself 3 psychic damage, reduced, well, to 3. You may draw a card, play a card, and use an additional power this turn. Let's play Burning Temper. If another player has more cards in their hand than you do, draw 4 cards. They don't. Otherwise, draw 2 cards, you may play a card. And then I'll play number 2 Hero. Until the start of your next turn, increase damage dealt by the hero with the highest HP other than Endeavor by 1, draw a card. And that's Knife, which is cool. Power number 1, deal a target 3 fire damage, and deal 3 targets 1 fire damage, which will be 1, so we'll hit that, we'll hit Lucas for 2, and I guess we'll hit Writhe because he'll soak it. And power number 2, deal a target 2 fire damage, doesn't quite take out the gravity, draw a card. Okay, no start of turn effects. The environment plays Operations. Start of the environment turn, play the top card of the environment deck, restore 3 HP to all system malfunction denied stacks. If I can take care of Operations, that will also take care of Artificial Gravity. That being said, that's probably not very likely. Okay, Lucas heals 4, and he gets to play an Influence because it's under him. Deals each hero character card 1 reducible psychic damage. Players may not use powers until the start of the next villain turn, or put this card on the villain character card instead of putting it in the villain trash. You know what? That's a good trade-off. Just remind me that we can't use powers. He hits the most cards in play for 3. That's still a Stranger. That's bad. And he hits the highest 5. That is Knife. Okay, Stranger hits himself for nothing. He's going to play Mark of the Bone Leech on himself. Yeah, and can't use powers. Draw a card. Alright, this gets shuffled into Writhe's deck. Writhe skips to draw 2. He's got nothing to do. Knife will play Focusing Conduit Blade. Draw a card. Too bad that +1 damage didn't work out, but that's okay. Endeavor does not seem to have a lot of damage dealing one-shots, unfortunately. I'll play I'm Your Target and draw a card. Alright, so this heals 3, unfortunately. That might end up being a problem. Plays Air Scrubbers. Start of the environment turn, all hero targets take 1 toxic damage. Getting rid of that would be good. Well, okay, again, if we can get rid of operations, that'll deal with the air scrubbers. First, we need to get rid of the artificial gravity. Everybody draw a card, and Lucas Halcom takes 2. And then he heals 4. And he plays Anti-Hero Sentiment, and the more of these cards go in the villain trash, the more they will continue to pop up. H-1 hero cards. Player may discard any number of cards. If less than H card to discard this way, put this in the under the villain character card. Okay, H-1. We'll destroy Glyph of Combustion, Mark of the Bone Leech, and Focusing Conduit Blade, which lets you play another Focusing Conduit Blade. And then we will discard H cards. Okay, that's 4 cards. This goes in the trash. He gets the most cards in play for 3, which again is the Stranger. So the question becomes, do I want to prevent... Okay, no, Writhe is the highest, so he can prevent his own damage. Alright, so we'll prevent the damage to the Stranger and hit him for 2 and 1, which becomes 3 and 2. Very useful. Then he hits Writhe for 5, and we'll just drop a card. Cool. Still have yet to actually find the thing I've been looking for this whole time. Alright, the Stranger hits himself for 1. I'll play Whispered Signs, draw 2 cards. I can play a rune or a glyph. I want to play Mark of Quickening on Knife. Don't think Endeavor really needs that kind of acceleration. Power, I can play a rune. Don't really wanna... No, yeah, let's go ahead and play Mark of Binding on Lucas, because that'll help us, even if I just leave it there for a round, which probably what's going to happen. Draw a card. Can't do any damage. Alright, Somber Tinker. Draw a card. Equipment card back. Play an equipment card. All I have is Grasping Shadow Cloth. Okie diddly day. Can't play cards. Bring back the Shadow Cloth. Draw a card. Alright, Knife can play 2 cards. Battlefield Experience and Prime Punch. And then she's going to do, let's see, 2 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 2 to this thing. That'll work. Draw a card. Endeavor plays Hell Javelin. Power is Endeavor deals a target 4 fire damage. If he isn't the hero with the highest HP, damage dealt this way is irreducible. Very good in this game, except it doesn't matter because 4 damage will get through the damage reduction. And now the artificial gravity works for us. Reduce all villain damage by 1. Now the game will become significantly easier. Draw a card. Alright, that can't restore HP. All hero targets take 1 toxic damage. Stranger's not doing so well. The environment plays Water Reclamation. Start the environment turn, each hero must destroy an ongoing card. Okay, yeah, we'll definitely want to deal with that. Everybody draw a card, and all villain targets take 1 energy damage. Okay, can't play cards, does get a random civilian. It is popular new celebrity, which is manipulated, so that goes in the trash, and he heals 6. Hello, Darkness, my old friend. He can't play cards, so we do one of these. Here gains 6 HP, destroy 3 hero ongoing cards, or put this card under the villain character card. Okay, I don't want to get rid of Hell Javelin. I guess I could get rid of Mark of the Twisted Shadow. That's fine. Endeavor's doing okay by himself. Alright, that goes in the trash. He's got 1 influence left. End of turn, hits the most cards in play for 2, which is Knife, and then he hits the highest for 4, which is Writhe, who will ignore it. Okay, we need to get rid of this ongoing. The Stranger hits himself for nothing. Oh, I'm sorry, that was reduced by an extra 1. I got another Mark of the Twisted Shadow. Put that right back on Endeavor where it belongs. Power, deal a target 1 toxic damage. Start working on operations. Draw a card. Alright, start a turn, then I'll get shuffled into his deck. You know what? Let's just do Darkly Dreaming. Hit everything for 3, controlling both of those. And then I'll destroy the Shadow Cloak. Each target dealt damage this way deals itself 2 psychic damage. Well, no, because technically this was not dealt damage by the rules of this environment, so I'm not going to bother destroying the cloak. But that's fine. He can go ahead and use the Ancient Vault, discard 2, and draw 3. And draw another one. Oh, finally. Alright, not going to Primed Punch. I will, however, Wrecking Uppercut. 4 damage, 5 to him, and discard the top card of his deck, which was actually Anti-Hero Sentiment, despite the fact that we shuffled it. Alright, Primed Punch, 1 and 1 becomes 2 and 2, becomes 3 and 3 against him. Draw a card. Let's do Intimidating Presence. First time Endeavor is dealt damage each turn, he deals the source of that damage 1 psychic damage. If Endeavor isn't the hero with the highest HP, increase this damage by 1. He currently is not. But we'll go ahead and Hell Javelin, 4, 5 irreducible fire damage, increase to 6, draw a card. I kind of don't care about operations now, everything else was taken care of. Okay, this says at the start of the hero turn. I think it means at the starting environment turn. Each hero can move a card from their trash to the top of their deck. But you know what? Each other one acts at the end of the environment turn, so we'll just pretend that's what it says. Power Room. Each time a hero uses a power, this card deals them 1 energy damage. Like, that's a problem. Start of the environment turn, restore 4 HP to all rogue robot denied stacks. See, this is the fun thing about this environment. It's overpowered, it's slightly unbalanced, and the fact is it takes over the game because you really want to beat the environment cards down so you get their abilities. But that's fun. And then you become grossly overpowered and you can overwhelm the villain. Everybody draw a card. All villain targets take energy damage. One hero may use a power. We'll go ahead and do Hell Javelin, because that's 6 fire damage. Each hero can move a card from their trash to the top of their deck. Oh, and then he got hit for 1, because he used a power. Alright, Lucas heals 4, and he gets a random civilian, the Troublemaking Activist, which is manipulated, so he heals 6. And he plays Rallying Speech. Shuffle the villain trash, reveal the top page cards, put any revealed civilians into play, put the rest in the trash. The top card of the environment deck. One of those is manipulated, so he gets 6 more HP. That's fine, we can deal tons of damage to him. Police Chief, we get Jared, play the top card of the environment deck. Service Bot, okay, we can deal with that. Although we probably should deal with the power room first, because otherwise it will heal the robot. Okay, most cards in play for 3, I think that's still Knife. Yeah, reduced to 2. And highest for 4, reduced to 3, that's Writhe, who will ignore it. Okay, the Stranger deals himself 1 damage. And he's going to play Mark of Quickening on Endeavor. I think now he can use some acceleration. Power, I will play Mark of Destruction on Jared this time. We want to try and get that down to 3. And then he'll deal a target 1 toxic damage. Let's hit that. Draw a card. Okay, Writhe. This is really dumb, but I'm going to use Distorted Perception. Deal a target 2 infernal damage. I'll hit the Mark of Breaking, and it deals up to 3 targets, 2 melee damage each. Hit the Police Captain and hit Lucas for 3. Then I'll bring the Shadow Cloak back, and then I'll draw a card. Cool. Skip Primed Punch. Let's go ahead and Amplified Combatant. She'll do 2 and 2, so 3 and 3 to Lucas, the Police Chief, and hit this environment card. And then we'll use the Prototype Servo Gauntlet, do 3 melee damage to the Mark of Breaking, which will destroy Jared, and because the target was destroyed, I can destroy an ongoing card. Ah, Synergy. Draw a card. Alright, everybody's been using powers. Take a damage, take a damage. Okay, Endeavor gets to play 2 cards. I'll play Turn Up the Heat. Power is draw a card. If Endeavor isn't the hero with the highest HP, draw a card or play a card. And he is not, so we'll keep that in mind. Flames of Retribution. Reduce the next damage dealt to a hero target by 1. If this ability is used on a hero other than Endeavor, increase the next damage dealt by Endeavor by 1. Okay, so if somebody else takes the damage and gets the reduction, then he gets a damage bonus. Of course he's going to use it because we're going to Hell Javelin and take this thing out, because I'm tired of it. So now all heroes do +1 damage. Draw a card. Okay, system malfunctions are fine. Play the top card of the villain trash. Oh, darn. I forgot about that. Environment plays Cryo Chamber. Ah, the hero with the lowest HP may not take any actions. This is the one that's actually, like, really poorly designed. Start the environment turn, all heroes take 1 cold damage. Okay, everybody draw a card. I don't know if that means Stranger can't draw a card. I guess not. Actions are not a defined thing in this game, guys. All villain targets take 1 energy damage. So close. Taking her out. One hero may use a power. Let's have that be Knife. We'll use Prototype Servo Gauntlet, take out the Police Captain, take out the ongoing before it gets a chance to fire, and that's it. Lucas heals 4. Caught red-handed, we get an Evidence card and discard the rest. Tori Roth. Lucas Holcomb deals each non-villain target 2 melee damage. Ah, that means he heals the systems, but it's only 1. We will protect the Stranger, so Endeavor gets +1 to his next damage. The only one we've hit is Operations, so Operations heals 1. Alright, she plays the top card of the villain deck. Courageous Private Eye, manipulated, he heals 6. And it doesn't matter where she goes, really. Stranger's got 4 cards in play, so he takes 2 melee damage, and then 5-6 damage to Writhe, so he'll just say no. Okay, Stranger can't do anything. Writhe's turn. How about Darkly Dreaming? He's doing 4 infernal damage to everything, 5 to Lucas. Again, not worth destroying the Shadow Cloak for. Well, actually, no, maybe it is. 2 psychic damage, which is 1 psychic damage, which is 2 psychic damage, and these systems don't hit themselves. Bring the Shadow Cloak back, draw a card. Oh wait, I got Umbral Siphon. I'm supposed to be using that. God damn it. Alright, Knife finally gets the Overcharged Null Shield out, and we'll do Primed Punch, 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 4. Hit him for 8, draw a card. Endeavor can still play 2 cards. He gets +1 damage to his next attack. I kinda wish I had that other power card of his. Alright, Prominence Burn. I'm gonna discard 2 cards. So he deals a target 6, 7, 8, 9 infernal damage. Oh, it's infernal damage. 9 damage, 10 to you, Mr. Holcomb. And I would destroy 1 villain or environment card. I'm gonna get rid of Taped Confession, because that's boosting his end of turn damage. Play another card. Let's do Flames of Retribution again, because that was fun. Power, I'm going to knock out the Cryo Chamber, which immediately destroys X non-character villain targets or X's number of controlled system malfunction cards, then destroy this card. 4. So that takes out all the evidence. Odd. But at least the stranger can do stuff. Unfortunately, all that he's going to be able to do is destroy his cards, because he's going to die. Draw a card. That heals the system malfunction. This plays the top card of the villain deck. Oh, hey, it's Tori Roth. Let's give her to Writhe. That plays the top card of the villain deck. It's caught red-handed again. Is there any evidence left in here? That's a no. So we discard his deck, and he deals each non-villain target 1 melee damage. We'll protect the stranger, give Endeavor +1. Oh, hey, Knife soaks it, but he does heal both the environment targets. That was the start of the environment turn. The environment plays Security Station. Kind of bad. I mean, at this point we can probably just win, so I'm probably going to ignore this. But everybody can draw a card, including the stranger now. All villain targets take 1 energy damage. One hero may use a power. It's gonna be Hell Javelin. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. Oh, that should have been destroyed. He shuffles his trash into his deck, which is bad because it means the influence can come back. And he heals 4. Rallying Speech. Hey, there's nothing in the trash. Top card of the environment. Cargo Bay. A hero must discard 1 card for each card they wish to play each turn. That's fine, we can probably deal with that. Alright, he plays his last influence card, which is everybody discard 1. And we have to destroy 2 equipment cards to not get that back. Do we even have 2 equipment cards? Yeah, we do. Right, so we'll go Shadow Cloak and Focusing Conduit Blade. Or actually, hell with that. Overcharge Null Shield. Alright, most cards in play at this point is still the stranger, so he dies. I have no way to save him. That's fine, he did his job. And there is 1 evidence card in play, so he hits Writhe for 2. Writhe will just take it. Oh no, he hits Writhe for 1, so Writhe doesn't care. Alright, draw a card, reveal the top card of a deck, and replace or discard it, or up to 2 hero ongoing cards may be played now. Do we have any ongoings? Oh wait, you know what? Writhe actually takes that because the Shadow Cloak is in his trash. Battlefield Experience. Let's play a card for Endeavor 2. Not to be outdone. The first time each turn a hero target other than Endeavor deals damage to a villain target, Endeavor may deal a target 2 fire damage. That sounds like a great idea. Okay, Writhe needs to get the Shadow Cloak back, and he can't. I'm going to play Umbral Siphon. Yeah, no, let's just go ahead and kill this motherfucker. He doesn't have the +1 damage taken, but do 2 melee and 2 infernal. Now he can't heal. That was my strategy for this entire game, and only now have I finally been able to pull it off. Alright, draw a card. Knife is going to Primed Punch, 5, 6 melee damage. And then you know what? I'll play Flawless Execution and hit him with the Prototype Servo Gauntlet for 4. Draw a card. Alright, discard a card, discard a card, so that Endeavor can finish him off. Except, wait a minute. Oh yeah, actually Endeavor did finish him off. Because of not to be outdone. Writhe did damage, and he hit him for 3 fire damage, so yeah, we win. So that was fun. I'm glad that actually worked out. Turns out when you have a slightly difficult old-school villain, the solution is to throw a way overpowered old-school environment at him. So let's take a look at the rest of Endeavor's deck. Superheated Strike. Power. Increase the next damage dealt by Endeavor by 2. If Endeavor isn't the hero with the highest HP, you may use a power. Oh, I could use that. Overshadowed. Until the start of your next turn, if the hero with the highest HP other than Endeavor deals damage to a villain target, you may draw a card. He's actually got a lot of card draw, which is surprising. And that's it. He is a fiery, burny guy with a massive inferiority complex, and you can put that to work for your hero team. And that's really what I like about him. That's it for this one. As always, thanks for watching. Tabletop Simulator, the Reaver Sentinels called a DLC, Anomaly, Walker's Workbench, and whatever the heck this environment is from, because I don't think it's in my saved files, or not licensed gaming games products. Please support the official release and flip.